If you will have a seat, and this is the same format as we continue. I would like to introduce the candidates for DeKalb County Commission District 3. You have the incumbent, Kuykendall, and Tony Buck Keef will be running against him in the primary. Give these two a hand, if you will. And in order chosen just a little while ago, Chris, you're going to go first, and Tony, you will go second with opening statements.
Very quickly, thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you. I had a chance to be commissioner of District 3 as part of the day when Mr. Craig passed away. It's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I have spent most of my life in service to my fellow man, through military service. I'm in the service industry. I've been for 45 years. I've served on numerous boards and community for over 40. And this has just been an extension of it. It gives me a chance to help people. And I think that's what it's all about. So, married to the same level age for almost 50 years, for children, for grandchildren, and my great-grandchild was at the house when I left. Wish I was there too. But anyway, thank you.
My name is Tony Buck Keef. Buck is a nickname, and I appreciate y'all letting me be here tonight. I went to Plainview High School, graduated there. I was born and raised in Pine Ridge, Alabama, just a plain old country boy. But I enjoy working for a living, and I'm going to work for this county if elected. I have run a sop mill for a little over 10 years, one of the largest sop mills in Fort Payne. It had employed a little over 240 employees. And I was the vice president, co-owner, and the personnel director of the company. And so I think that gives me some qualifications to work with the people of this county. I've been in construction almost about all my life, building houses and such. And I think that's going to bring a different kind of experience to the table as far as having some common sense and knowing how water runs and things like that. I've operated about every kind of machine you can imagine. So my bells are ringing. So thank you.
All right, and if you'll stay out there, Tony, the first question will be yours, and Chris will follow. County Commissioner, every time I hear that mentioned, somebody mentions roads in the same sentence. Now, it could be good, it could be bad, but they mentioned you two together. And it takes a lot of revenue to pave roads, to maintain roads. Here's the question for you. Do you support efforts to increase revenue for the county to use for road and infrastructure improvements, bridges, those type of things? Or do you believe we've got enough funding? We're just not allocating it in the right way.
I believe that we need some more funding. I support trying to get more funding. Maybe go down to see the legislations and try to work on some grant money to do some certain roads. But I know the county operates on about $19 million a year, a little over, and and it's off of an 18% gas tax. Pretty much is where they get their revenue. And they hadn't had a gas tax increase since 1992, and I think that was mandated by the federal government. So our legislature hadn't given us a tax raise. I think the last one they did was in '82. So I'd say that we need just a little bit more funding, and so we can pave some more roads and make the community a little better place.
Additional revenue for roads and bridges is always needed. We've received, fortunately, in the last 8 years, a significant sum of money from the state legislature to be used on major roads. In my district alone, grants and the ATRIP funds accounted for about $4.5 million that we use to pave the major highways. However, 50% of us, including myself, live on Farm to Market Road that are either deteriorated or deteriorating, and in some cases have had to be plowed up and reclaimed. Yes, we need additional funds. We need a permanent source of funding. That means tax, fees, something of that nature. The legislature has been working on this problem for 5 years, and we have assurances that it's going to be addressed this next term. I have no doubt they will, and if we're lucky, then additional source of revenue will be available. So yes, things have gone up. We can't do any more with what we have to work with.
All right. Chris, you'll be first, and Tony, you'll be second in this question. DeKalb County has 4 municipalities that have legalized alcohol sales within their jurisdictional boundaries: Fort Payne, Vinegar, Collinsville, and Mentone. Here's the crux of the question. Do you support a county-wide vote that would convert DeKalb to from a dry county to a wet county? And do you think this is a good idea?
Well, I think as long as we follow the state law, which I think mandates a certain number of municipalities have to be wet before the county can go to it. As long as the citizens have the right to vote on it, yes. It's their decision. Personally, I'm not necessarily for it. I can see the need where certain types of tourism industries are concerned, but as long as the citizens have the right to vote on it, yes.
Okay, and let me follow. I have a follow-up question for both of you on this. If something like that were to happen, should the county alcohol sales revenue be earmarked or put into the general fund?
Never seen anything one earmarked to stay Alabama. Realistically, if something like this were to pass, a significant portion of it should go to school systems. 75, 25, something of this nature. What happened in Fort Payne has worked very, very well, and this Fort Payne, quite frankly, has benefited from the school system south too. But that's the only way, really, that I would support something like that.
All right. Tony, second question.
Yes, I'd support alcohol sales through DeKalb County. I just, not for the particular reason to have everybody wet. I just think that what the city of Fort Payne has done and Henniger and the surrounding towns has helped the school system out so much over the last several years. I think it's a positive thing. But I will agree with Chris. I think that the county people need to vote on this and put it on the issue. But and then the tax money, as far as the revenue, your second question there, then yes, I think that they should earmark parts of it to different sections.
Very good, thank you. And Tony, I'm sorry, you just got comfortable, didn't you? You're up for the next one. As Republicans, the school of thought is generally that government does not have all the answers, and that many decisions are best left to the individual and to the private sector. Would you support efforts to reduce the footprint of our county government? And if so, what areas should be downsized?
That's tough. The whole government should be downsized. Here I am running for a position, but I think sometimes our government is a little bit too large, and we do need to downsize it, and so we can just kind of maybe do a little bit more personal with people instead of trying to run everybody's life. I think, you know, I think we need to help people and not try to run their lives. Thank you.
County government is not involved in running people's lives. We provide services that you as citizens have not just requested, you demanded. Law enforcement, emergency management, revenue office is necessary evil, but it still serves all of us, probate judge's office. So, you know, I've been 8 years on the commission, and believe me, nobody's tired of money to me. We're running lean and mean now. We run with about a third less people than we need in some areas. So can I say we can cut even more people out of the program and operate efficiently? No. At this time, I don't see those areas. We can do more with what we have. We can be more efficient or effective. But as far as downsizing the government operation in the county, no, not unless you tell us to, and then we would.
And Chris, final question. As a county commissioner, as you are, what are some of your priorities, and how do you work with not only the commission, but also local municipalities to achieve these priorities?
About 50% of the people in our jail or inmates have mental health issues. Judge Osborne addressed that. One of the biggest things that we can do as a county is to increase our ability to treat people with these problems before they become problems that we have to address through the jail system itself. I've been actively involved in helping get CED Mental Health Fellowship involved in the county, vans to get people to their doctors and get their medication. So that's a big issue for me. The second, don't forget the roads. farm market roads are pitiful, we have to do something about that, but more important to me, quite frankly, is water projects. If you have been one of those people who didn't have clean, abundant, and affordable water, you're very fortunate. We've been in this situation years ago. The last 8 years, we have worked with other agencies to fund up to 60 families and several businesses to get them water. There'll be 3 more projects done this summer that will affect 10 more families. So that's a big issue for me, always has been. I'd like to be able to set up some kind of program that would set aside additional funds to be used for this. There's very little grant money available, but that's my 2 big issues, 3 big issues.
Okay. As county commissioner, what would be your priorities if elected, and how would you work with the commission and local municipalities to get these priorities accomplished?
Well, I think one thing we need to do with all the commissioners is ride through the county and us get a grading system for all the roads and just determine which roads are the worst and to the best according to how much traffic is on that road too. We can't just, because the road has 10 cars goes down it, it's pretty rough, but you got one that's medium rough and 200 cars goes down it might need to be worked on first. I think we need to get a simple schedule together so we can maintain and spend our money wisely where it goes. And what was that part?
Just how would you accomplish?
I just think working with the whole commission, I've been going to these, I've been going to all their commission meetings and, you know, they seem like they work together well and I have no problem working with people and I think it's going to work just fine.
And Tony, you have the closing statement, and then Chris, if you'll line this up. Tony and Chris, why should people vote for you?
Like I said, I've been a lifelong citizen of DeKalb County. I enjoy living in DeKalb County. I own a little cattle farm in Portersville. I run these roads. But I've been with the same lady for 30 years, and we got 3 lovely daughters, and I got 5 grandkids. That kind of keeps me busy. A couple of them goes to Collinsville High School, and I'd like to keep them as safe as possible on some of these other issues that we'd be addressing in the commission's office. And I just feel like I got the experience as far as being a construction background and a personnel director. It's good to work with people. I'm easy to get along with, and I just think I bring some good qualities to this job. And I appreciate y'all supporting me vote on June the 5th for the county seat. Thank you.
All right, Chris.
Well, with me, you see what you get. I try to be as honest and fair with people as I possibly can. Unfortunately, if you ask me a question, I'll tell you the truth even if you don't want to hear it. But that's life. I've always tried to conduct myself in the best interest, not just for myself and my family, but everybody I deal with. You know, the biggest thing I can say here is I've had the opportunity to work with some of the finest people you'll ever meet. The folks in county government, you get your money's worth. I don't care what you hear. These folks work, they work hard, they work for you. And if you don't believe that, just be around them a little bit. That's all there. It's been a pleasure to be around. Thank you.
All right. And again, that's Incumbent Chris Kuykendall and candidate Tony Buck Keef, DeKalb County Commission District 3. Give them a big hand.